Good morning.
Good morning.
Wow, what a turnout. The last day here in this building, but also the last day of all of our 9 elements of interspirituality, teaching us about having that moral capacity, knowing right from wrong, and having those parameters in our lives, to talking about our interconnectedness and understanding that and really living with that, and talking about being nonviolent because we are so interconnected, right? Whatsoever we do to the least of our brothers, we do to ourselves, so let's do it with some kindness and some love. And so we get humble because of that. And in our humility, we understand ourselves more deeply. So we grow in self-knowledge. And we grow in self-knowledge because we did spiritual practice consistently, as we were reminded of, right? So we did all these wonderful things. And then today is the final one, which is prophetic voice, which I think that most people get a little bit confused with. Prophetic voice, that means I got to go out there and tell everybody how to fix the world, how to fix this thing and do this thing. And kind of the last thing on the list. Because in spirituality, there's always this paradox, right? There's always this thing. As soon as we think we got to the end, it brings us right back to the beginning again, right? So in our words of wisdom, we're reminded that unless I check in, unless I've gone to that place of really connecting with the divine, I should not open my mouth. And we forget that, right? I did my spiritual practice today. I'm so humble. I did all the things. I worked so hard. But the mouth opens automatically and stuff comes out, you know? And we get in this, this self-righteousness and self-justification, and we're out there doing all the things that may or may not be what the world needs, but we don't know unless we're tuned in. Prophetic voice is a voice of love. I have hundreds of times said the words of 1 Corinthians 13. Love is patient, love is kind. At weddings, so many weddings. Everybody wants love is patient, love is kind. But unless I use love, I am but a clanging bell. Clanging bells, guys and gals, and all of us. Clanging bell. That tuning in is so important. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable, right? In thine eyes. By thy grace. It's by thy grace that I feel, that I speak, that I know, that I do. And anytime we forget to do that, it is our job to pull ourselves back. The most loving voice we can have, the most powerful love that we can give, is given to us if we just connect to it. To draw it in to us. And as soon as we think we know we got it, I'm telling you, you've lost it. Yes, just like the Tao, right? Just like all of these wonderful core essence of these spiritualities. Telling us that we have been provided for, that the divine has us. And does not need our input to make it any better. To make it any wiser, to make it any whatever. It needs us to be our authentic selves so that it can work through us in the unique way that you have been put together. So that it can shine through and do the things that need to be done in this world through the unique way that only you can do it. And each one of you are so unique. Each one of us have this amazing capacity that we don't pay attention to all day long. We pay attention to everything else, get things done. But that light within, that grace within, that wants to use us to be the most loving expression that is possible in the moment, wherever you are. Even if you're home alone, nobody's there. Even then, the light wants to come through. Thich Nhat Hanh, right? Talks about meditation when you're doing the dishes. Saint Teresa of Avila, you know? She would have ecstatic moments washing the dishes. Be there. Be where we are. So completely, so grounded that we learn from nature, that we are paying attention to nature, that we're being a part of nature as we were called to from the Lakota in our Declaration of Intent. All these things, all these parts, all these pieces, and you are all singing out so wonderfully that song, Here I Am, Lord. Don't stop. Don't stop saying that. In every moment of your life, don't stop. So this is our last day here in this building, but in true gathering of light fashion, we get up and we move to the next spot. I don't know, this year is 30 years, maybe it will take 40 years of wandering around Huntington before we finally are in the promised land. But hey, we have some good company and all of that, so I might as well just go with it. You know, I've told this to a few people. I do the thing that I always do because it just gets you out of the way. And I got honest with myself. What am I capable of handling and what am I not capable of handling? And to tell you the honest truth, I was not capable with moving. Knew it was coming for a long time. Did not want to know about it. Did not want to see it. And know that physically just wasn't capable of doing, looking for a place, blah, 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 you know, real estate, looking, so tedious. We've done it so many times. There's many of you here that have done it, gone into buildings, prayed over buildings, done these different things. We've done it all. I said, I can't. So I did what I always do when it comes to the gathering.
You made Phil do it.
No, that's after I check with the divine. You gotta get it straight, Cammie. The order is important. No, it's great. The order is important. I'm not denying that. But the order is important. So, and a few people knew about it, so we put out some feelers and help. And I said, if you want this fellowship to continue, you let me know where we're going. And we got a phone call on the gatherings line from Pastor Christensen, from King of Kings, that said, something came across my desk that said you were interested in renting the space. I'd be interested in having you. So we made the phone call, we met, and he is amazing. And we're going over to King of Kings Lutheran Church. So many times we walked into that church years ago, about 15 years ago, before we came here, before we came to Sweet Hollow. I mean, we've been there. It just wasn't the right time, wasn't the right place. It is now. So that's where we're going, starting next week. Yes. So in true style for this prophetic voice, ask the divine first. Ask the divine first. You know, we push and we say, well, it's got to look like this, or it's got to do, or I got, the prep work is the prayer work.
It is.
Right?
Yeah.
Remember that. The prep work is the prayer work. In any project that you want to do in your life. That includes what I'm going to eat, where I'm going to live, even what I should wear. And just bring it in. In the Jewish tradition, there is a prayer for everything.
Yes.
There's a prayer to go to the toilet. And in the Catholic tradition, there is a saint that oversees all the bowel movements.
Bonaventure.
Yeah, Bonaventure, St. Bonaventure. Yes, it is true. Go look it up.
It's true.
We were told by a comedian, but it is true. We looked it up. This is how much we are provided for. The assistance is here for us. Stop the disconnect. That's the most prophetic thing I can say to any one of us here. Stop the disconnect. Your voice is needed in the world to bring the light in. And you might say, well, my life is tough, or I'm distracted, or I've heard it all before and I don't need it. And Rumi says, the wound is where the light comes in. So especially when you're wounded, especially when things are tough, especially when you think you got other things to do, that's when you step up, step in, and step out. And then you will be led. And you'll find that you'll have the energy, the strength to do it all. The Course in Miracles says, once you accept the atonement, the at-one-ment, coming back to that place of oneness and connection, there will be no stones to trip on or obstacles to bar your way. We can do this. We are doing it. You are doing it. You've already stepped out in prophetic voice by listening to your own heart center. By saying, you need more. I like to say that I am high maintenance. High maintenance, but higher maintenance. I need that higher connection to maintain the very basic stuff of my life. And prophetic voice means that all of us need that before we open our mouths. As Diane Burke said in our Words of Wisdom today, that our job, its message, its prophetic voice, our journey, our spiritual work is simply to live there more and more, to live the holy instances, to be the embodiment in this world of that great spirit, that holy breath, that light of life. Be that spirit. Come together, see it in each other, profess it to the person next to you. You are the light of God. You are holy. You are whole. You are complete. Imagine if everybody just went around saying that to each other. You're whole. You're complete. You're absolutely perfect the way you are. What kind of society would we be living in if everybody's saying that to each other? You are whole. So today, we're going to stand in that space. We're going to move with joy, with gratitude, with deep respect for this space, for this community, for inhabiting it. Another spiritual fellowship where I don't know what type of community, but it still will be a community. I remember when we moved into Rainbow Chimes Child Care Center, Katie, right? When we moved into there, it was a brand new building and it was a child care center. And we prayed the roof off of that place and a church bought it. We made it holy. So keep making your life holy. Keep standing in that light. Make it your daily practice to be in that holy instant. Because another quote from A Course in Miracles is, the holiest spot on earth is where an ancient hate becomes a present love. Make your spot a place of a present love, no matter what. And so it is.
And so it is.